Hello, air signs. This is for Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Wow. I bet you guys have had a crazy last 6 months. I can see you looking around right now going, is it over yet? Some big life changes. I'd love to hear about them. I think it's probably a little different for everybody. Whether, you've left a relationship, whether you've had some deep personal changes, insights, complete overhauls on self. Some of you may have lost somebody, whether that be through, a separation or needing to cut somebody out, or even through somebody passing away. I think this has been a huge upheaval of your norm. I think that you're probably at a point where things are starting to look a little brighter. There's been a lot of epiphanies along the way, a lot of lessons needing to be learned or looked at. I think that the future is now becoming a bit more clear, but we still haven't completely let go of our old life and maybe our old selves. And I think through this eclipse season, that's going to really need to be a big focus for you. Spirits, really just trying to create a completely new beginning, a completely different future here for you. And it's been rough. But be patient with yourself. I think that it's been really a push and pull, like go forward and then pulled backwards, go forward, pulled backwards. There's been a lot of delays in the progress and maybe a few defeats, or, maybe even where you thought that, you're not sure if anything's going to work out, but it will. I almost promise, I don't promise anything, but I almost promise it will. This month there's going to be that one last little, push, pull, and I think it's going to be a really sort of strange energy for you and maybe a little bit challenging. I think the anxiety and sort of the unknown in the past few months has been the hardest challenge. I know things probably, maybe haven't gone exactly the way you thought, if you even knew how they were going to go at all. But I think now things are starting to finally fall into place. And maybe you can start seeing the path ahead, and you can start seeing the first step and maybe the second step. If you try to see to the end of the path, I think it's going to be frustrating and overwhelming. I feel like your mood and your outlook and your just general peace with yourself has really gone from one extreme to another, even daily sometimes. And so I just want you to know that there is a new path opening up for you, and some of you might already be going down that way. I think out of, almost out of all the signs, you and I think, the water signs have had like the biggest transformation. So just kind of recognize that this is a transformation, and it's basically you have to transform. This is the time to do that, and you're not going to have much of a choice. This is a new life, and there's going to be a lot of unknowns, and the more you sort of resist and try to grab hold and hold on to the past, I think like the more uncomfortable it's going to be. We're going to have to get used to going with the flow and communicating better, communicating your needs, even though it's probably really hard to tell how you feel at all right now. So be patient. Sometimes it's just going to be better to be quiet and be, reflective, and sometimes it's going to be better to, talk about it and to talk about the future and talk about what you're leaving behind. But all of you are leaving something behind, or something has been taken out of your life. There's been money struggles. There's been, roller coaster up and down. I feel like the stability is coming. I can see stability financially, mentally, and, coming in. And there's been a big focus in one way or another on home and like a belonging, a place to be. And you've been in a void, you've been drifting, not quite sure, what that's going to look like. But all the changes, even if they're scary, are going to be for your greater good, and replaced with a new, clean, fresh kind of slate. It's going to, I encourage you to be like more simple in your space and, declutter. That's what everybody's been saying, but it's true. And just sort of start with a clean slate, with now what do you want to keep? What is it that you want to put back into your life, and what is it that you need to let go of? And enjoy that simplicity, because I think that's basically the road that you're heading on, is simplifying, decluttering, and less chaos. I think we're all done with the chaos. So the lunar eclipse was probably uncomfortable and challenging, and for some it was maybe a bit of a relief, because now there's a bit more new hope for the future. Something will obviously be illuminated with the second eclipse. This whole month is going to be sort of the final call to tidy things up, clear things out, and we're all going to do our best to do that, whatever that looks like. But the next couple of months will be the settling in to the new direction, and it's going to be great. Look forward to the future. Be flexible. Your first card is, material and spiritual prosperity. And that is the theme, really. It's like, if you want new to come in, if this is what you've been sort of praying for, hoping for, is just feeling abundant, feeling like you don't have to fight for everything, feeling like you're going to be secure, feeling like you're more connected. The more you can clear and the more that you can let go of, the more of that peace and that all the abundance can come into your life. So that's, that should be a focus at this time, is just clean house, man, clean house. And you've got prosperity begins. So 2 prosperity cards, and this is, you've been waiting for the apples to grow on the tree, right? And it's just, are they ever going to grow? Is this tree, is there something wrong with it? Is it healthy? Am I ever going to be able to eat, pick the apples? And that harvest time is coming. This tree is strong. These roots go deep. It's just a different tree. It's like a new, a new type of tree that you haven't seen before. And so you didn't know what to expect. But your prosperity is going to start. And it's going to be steady, kind of slow and steady, but it will keep you full. It will keep you satisfied. You know, this is a whole new thing. We just have to sort of get used to what that looks like. And you've got authority here. And that is you just, yeah, being confident. Being confident in the new you, being confident in the new life. And maybe finally feeling like you have your independence, you know, you've got control over things instead of feeling like you're flailing. Yeah, this is a really good energy for you. This is bossing up. This is, okay, you know, I've been vulnerable. I've been, you know, I've slipped back. I've gone forward. I don't know what's going to happen. This is like, all right, now I got this, you know. Everything's falling into place. This is a great power to step in for you. And we've got the sisterhood of the rose coming up, and it's beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. So this could be, you know, just feeling more connected, like remembering or learning again how to find the beauty in the simple things, the beauty in life, you know, being more connected to where you are, knowing that it's for your greater good, like feeling confident in your past decisions now. You might find a teacher. You might look around and have learnt a lot from your experiences or from other people in this situation. And, you know, and people will look at you in a new light and maybe want to hear what you have to say and want to learn from you, because I think you kind of forgot like what you know, how much you can give, how much you have to give, because, you know, you're an amazing person. You've been through a lot of life experience and you have a lot to offer other people, yourself, and the world, and your future. So this is a great energy for you too. It's just kind of about pausing and seeing it, pausing and realizing it, instead of, you know, your mind racing or, you know, being scattered. I think this is a really nice, peaceful, confident energy for you. And you've got the ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. And that's exactly, I think, what you've been dealing with or struggling with or trying to swim through in the last couple of months. This is things coming slowly and just unfolding over time, and it feels like everything's just been blasted, you know, in your life. Maybe not really knowing why, or looking around going, holy shit, what's going on, what's happening? But this is happening for you. This is something that needed to happen. This is that lightning bolt, I guess, you know, tower moment. And once this is sort of all settled and the air is cleared, it's going to be something very beautiful for you. You've got artist here. Yeah, that's awesome. Engaging in artistic activities is beneficial to your career and every other area of life. I don't like it when they always say career, because it always sounds like, okay, well, this is work. And that's cool if it's work. But, you know, career can also just mean like what you are sort of devote your time to, you know, kind of in the time that you would work or have a job. But this is also your focus, your kind of purpose, right? And I think you've, you know, sort of fallen away from the artistic activities because it just seemed like something you didn't have time for, you couldn't even focus on. And now is the time, as everything is starting to settle, to get back to that. Pick something, pick anything. If it's making a daisy chain outside, or whether it's going and banging on a drum, or picking up a paintbrush, or, you know, writing in your journal. I think it's time to just go and focus on something small that brings you joy and allows you to express something creative. And I really think that's going to help you move forward here. And we've got Dear Spirit, and it says bring a gentle touch. And I think that's to yourself. is a big one. And also into your, like, the people that are coming into your life, the people that have been in your life, also to your sort of new future, new path that's opening up. Instead of feeling like, you know, you need to be loud and, you know, and really tell your story or try to argue with your own story, I think at this point, trying to just settle in gently, you know, be gentle with yourself, be gentle with others, be gentle with your life, be gentle with your path, like ease into it is basically, and look at it, try to look at it through new eyes. You've got travel here. Your purpose involves traveling. Your life purpose involves traveling. And this really can be just traveling one step at a time. This can just be like, hey, we're finally moving forward. I can see, you know, my next step, even if it's one, you know, that's traveling, that's success. And I think that, you know, you've had a lot of steps forward, a lot of steps backwards, but I feel like you're like a, you know, think about a plane. A plane can't go backwards. Well, not anyone that I've seen anyway. So even if you're taking off slowly, even if you're only going on a short trip, anything that's happening, I think you're finally just going forward and gaining this momentum. You might be traveling, you know, a lot more. Maybe this is a new venture and you're going to get to go to new places and, you know, meet different people. And I think having a new life and making sure you're having new experiences is really going to help you sort of morph into the new person, the new life that you're going to have and that you're going to be. And I think you're going to really love it, and I think you're going to thrive in this future coming up. So best of luck with that. Be patient with it. It's all unfolding now. And just remember that you are love and you are loved. Take care.